Cookery has become an art, a noble science. Cooks are gentlemen. Robert Burton. Zip, zip.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Mercury. I hold 12 degrees in mathematics. I'm also a chef. And you're here with me in the Mercury laboratories. Tonight we're here to show you at home how to make frozen custard.
Today, Dr. Mercury is going to make a frozen custard. Frozen custard is the thicker, richer cousin of ice cream. Let's see how he makes it.
We're going to be using this list of ingredients.
Sugar, salt, milk, action, heavy cream, passion, eggs, flavor.
You should be very proud of yourself for showing those to us. Let's begin with a couple of the dry items this evening. Rejuvenate, please. You know, the sugar will naturally sweeten the endeavor, while the commonly occurring formula of equal parts sodium and chloride will give the custard a subtle edge.
Dr. Mercury is talking about salt, an ionic compound.
Sometimes when you're at home, you see the sugar and the salt and they both look white and granular. Could it be the sugar or the salt? And that's why I have a robo-rod sensor to help us figure out just which is which. For instance, we have the salt, but let's just say we don't know it's the salt.
It was once a custom in Japanese theaters to throw salt on the stage to ward away evil spirits. For luck, Mercury tosses a little over his shoulder and a little into the mix.
Who made this? There we go. Salt. That should be plenty of salt for this custard. We have the robo-rod sensor unit, and we put this in here, and we know it's the salt.
Salt is the only family of rocks regularly eaten by man and woman.
Now, let's take a bit of sugar. For this recipe, you'll generally use roughly 2 cups of sugar.
Sugars are a form of carbohydrate that's produced by plants. When humans consume carbohydrates, the bodies convert them into glucose, a simple sugar molecule that becomes fuel.
Jump back.
That should be about right.
Jam hot. Now, don't you want it? Mother pop, don't hot fun to run a jam hot.
When we're babies, we've just been born. And that's why we need a vitamin-rich substance to help us build immunities, to adjust to this world in which we've been thrown head first. So we find ourselves drinking milk.
Earth's most commonly cultivated ruminant is the dairy cow. Ruminants are animals whose mammary glands hang in a bag, commonly known as an udder. The mammary glands help pull nutrients from the small intestine and turn those nutrients into milk. The cow's udder is like a holding bag that contains the milk. The milk is released through its teeth hanging from the udder. To many people, the production of milk is utterly fantastic.
Oh, it's so good. Thank you, Rejuvenate. I think that should be enough milk for this ice cream. Now it's time to add the next ingredient, the egg. Oftentimes, love leads to eggs. And they're a fabulous item, hugely important to a frozen custard.
The doctor prefers to use a finer grade of egg for his frozen custard, that of the golden cuckoo meringue.
Eggs can be a real pain in the fanny to crack. That's why I have robots do it for me.
This is the oscillating ovum paratropic slicer.
I have the OOPS slice open the eggs with precision and suck the yolk straight into the mix.
The doctor is holding the beta integrated touch control hub. It's a multiplexing controller that he uses to fine-tune many of his lab's devices. Here he is using it to modulate the functionality of the oscillating ovum paratropic slicer, adjusting the blade's velocity to match the egg's mass and integument density. Dr. Mercury designed the OOPS in the same basement where he designed Rejuvenate. The OOPS hews a perfect circle into the crown of the egg's integument. The tubing system carries the egg yolks from inside the egg and channels them to the mixing vessel.
And now I'll whisk the egg yolks to break them. And let me tell you, this break will actually be a fix in the mix. Oh, God, get in there, bro. Get in the mix. Get in the mix. Rejuvenate and I will monitor the mixture and continue to stir.
Fantastic pants give me spastic rants.
And now, you've got a custard. One would normally place this custard into the refrigerator for 8 to 24 hours. But refrigerators are quite old a hat to us here at Baking with Mercury. Folks, we live in the future.
Dr. Mercury once again uses his patented Spencer-Sharp particle collider to speed up the cooling process. By dialing in the rheological specifications, the Spencer-Sharp slows down the atoms in the custard and brings them to a cooled state in seconds.
Waiting for the custard set before we add it to the ice cream mixer is the hardest part. With the help of postmodern science, it appears that the custard is done. It's now time to take the mix and add it to the Loomis Wood Ice Master XL, where we will continue the process. Here we have a new unit based on sound wave enhanced agitation technology. It's the Loomis Wood Ice Master XL, a unique brand of ice cream maker. Instead of a conventional ice cream maker that churns the custard, this uses a hyper-cooled transducer that takes consistent sonic vibrations and jostles the fat and protein molecules and adds air into the mix. And it doesn't hurt to have the coolest beats around. Rejuvenate.
The Loomis Wood Ice Master XL 2000 vibrates the fat and protein molecules in the custard, breaking their cell walls, and introduces air into the mix.
Well, I like what you've done here.
Maintaining constant air integration is what gives the frozen custard body. In the ice cream industry, it is known as overrun. The Loomis Wood BPM setting allows Dr. Mercury to perfectly modulate the beats of the mix into the beating of the mix.
And now it's time to enjoy the fruit of the Loomis Wood.
By creating music listening profiles, the user can program his or her preferred beats per minute into the Ice Master Excel 2000, thus personalizing each batch of frozen custard.
Oh, the sugars. Oh, the cream. Oh, the egg solids. Who's a little boy?
Provided your kitchen is OSHA compliant, you too can produce your own frozen custard. Sometimes I wish animals could talk. When I'm at the store buying my kitty his litter, I always wonder, what does he like best? Certainly it's important that it removes odor and clumps properly. But how does it make him feel? Oh, little kitty, why can't you tell me? Oh, why can't you tell me? Let me do that last sentence again. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Process complete.